We came here as slaves, now it's time to flee. Captivity beginning 1619 AD. We didn't have a choice, this was forced migration. Millions of us died before we reached the plantation. Our women violated, we deprived of our language. They wanna keep it silent, so they find a tree to hang us. It's ultimate control with the crack of a whip. And they beat us every chance that they could get. To the skin of our backs, we're bloody and split. When that barbed wire whip hit our flesh, it was ripped. Pregnant mothers thrown overboard, chained up on ships. And we get no reparations, and it don't make no sense. And nobody factors in the psychological damage that we still had to manage at a great disadvantage. They said we 3/5 of a person, and they said that we savage. The slave masters never went to jail and still living lavish. It's a war against Jacob, this the hatred of Jacob. And the nations are against you, and it's time that you wake up. And we hated by the nations, that's the stake you must take up. And Yahuwah will love his people, he will never forsake us. It's a war against Jacob, this the hatred of Jacob. And the nations are against you, and it's time that you wake up. And we hated by the nations after faith that's not made up. And Yahusha coming back, and he will never forsake us. It's a war against Jacob, this the hatred of Jacob. And the nations are against you, and it's time that you wake up. And we hated by the nations, that's the stake you must take up. And Yahuwah will love his people, he will never forsake us. It's a war against Jacob, this the hatred of Jacob. And the nations are against you, and it's time that you wake up. And we hated by the nations after faith that's not made up. And Yahusha coming back, and he will never forsake us. Negro land in Africa, the kingdom of Judah. And they knew who we were, and that's why they pursued us. And they brought us on a slave ship, betrayed us like Judas. This whole country built by Hebrews, they just killed us and used us. It's the white man religion, and they made us all Christian. Use our book as a weapon and remove what's been written. How you violate our women and you never go to prison. They packed us on the slave ships, the worst conditions. And it's all about control and colonization. Slavery the biggest holocaust, they ignore that conversation. Throwing money at the small, has supporting the evil. And they stole our identity, you defending these people. Scriptures say blessed, Yasharel, you will be blessed. But because we all black, we don't get that respect. Chains of iron on our necks, gave our daughters for sex. And they set us all free, but we treat it as less. It don't take a genius just to see that we press. Exposing racism ain't racist, we just grieved in the press. And they had to be possessed to think they freedom or less. Recompense will be brutal and it will leave you distressed. It's a war against Jacob, this the hatred of Jacob. And the nations are against you, and it's time that you wake up. And we hated by the nations, that's the stake you must take up. And Yahuwah will love his people, he will never forsake us. It's a war against Jacob, this the hatred of Jacob. And the nations are against you, and it's time that you wake up. And we hated by the nations after faith that's not made up. And Yahusha coming back, and he will never forsake us. It's a war against Jacob, this the hatred of Jacob. And the nations are against you, and it's time that you wake up. And we hated by the nations, that's the stake you must take up. And Yahuwah will love his people, he will never forsake us. It's a war against Jacob, this the hatred of Jacob. And the nations are against you, and it's time that you wake up. And we hated by the nations after faith that's not made up. And Yahusha coming back, and he will never forsake us.
I thought we all came from like the Ivory Coast. I didn't know where we came from. No, they went to a specific place because do you remember the white boy was saying that they were saying that there was a byword on us that said these people are cursed of their God. That's why they did it. So when they would sell us, they would be like, don't worry about it, they cursed. Now then what did that mean? Somebody read Deuteronomy. Somebody read Deuteronomy and said these people are supposed to be slaves. And that's why they did that. Because they saw in the book that this is who y'all are. This is what y'all Bible say, and that's what we gonna do to y'all. And then they erased it all, so you never know who you are. Now we just over here, adopting all customs. We think we're Italian, name ourselves Italian. We call ourselves the Mexican name. We don't know who we are. We adopt every culture because we are people don't know who we are.
Hey, Yexer.
button for show. Yeah, you already know. Dun 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 dun. Hit the like button for show. Yeah, you already know. Dun 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 dun.
Shalom, shalom, everybody. I hope you guys are doing well. I want to start this out always giving all esteem to the Most High Yahuwah and his beloved son, Yahusha. Blessings to you all, children of Yasharal, and those who are cleaving to Jacob, grafted in through Hamashiach. I wanted to just talk about a few things. Shout out to Brother Yakoba. I watched his stream yesterday. Aki did a great stream. You said so much. And I wanted to talk about some of the things that I'm seeing as well that kind of connect with what you were saying in your stream last night. You know, there is so much that is happening, and it's happening at such a quick pace. And I think we need to be very, very watchful, of course, be in repentance right now because things are happening so quickly. I think a lot of people misunderstand how much time, you know, that we don't have. We are on borrowed time. And within the next 3 months, starting right now, because even right now, you're seeing a lot of the things that are happening. I'm going to just take you through some of the things I'm seeing. We don't have that much time. I don't even think it's going to take getting to the election for total chaos to happen. Let me show y'all this real quick. I saw this the other day, and I was just like, well, this is interesting. So let me bring this up on screen. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Give me a second here. I'm going to pull up my tab. So do y'all remember the pallet of bricks that they were setting up during the George Floyd riots? Well, it's happening again. Take a look.
The hospital. There's just a pallet of bricks down here. And this one dude hanging out. This is so fucking weird. Like what? We're going to fucking fuck up a hospital? Who the fuck is this and why? This is ridiculous. Why are they here?
That's exactly what I'm fucking wondering.
Okay, so you're on our side?
Yeah, no, man.
Dude, what the fuck?
Dude, I don't know. I got here and the cops were already here and they're like,
You're kidding me.
You just got a call about it. Like 5 different calls have gone in 3 weeks.
Is this a hospital?
This is a hospital too.
So essentially, they are setting up pallets of bricks right outside the DNC. You know what this means? This means they expect riots to happen. Okay. Now, there have been some riots that have taken place, just in case you're not aware of the DNC. Now, when you connect this to the situation with Palestine, because that's part of the situation, you have a lot of things that are taking place within the DNC, right? Black people, obviously, Negroes, we feel as if these people don't care about us, which they don't, right? And then you also have the situation that's happening in the UK, all right? Now, keep in mind that there are people out there in the UK that are saying that Negroes and Africans are the problem, or, you know, illegals, so to speak, right? So the Arabs coming here and the Palestinians coming here and being pro-Palestine, this is also going to help break off this civil war. this is also going to help break off what is to come. So the fact that they're setting these up is not at all, to me, a coincidence. They are preparing for something very, very big. And when I see these bricks, I see chaos ensuing. Now, just in case you don't remember, let me take you down memory lane. This is back in 2020 with George Floyd. All right, y'all remember that situation? Wasn't too long ago. Seems like it was a while ago, but it was only 4 years ago. All right, let me show y'all this video real quick. This is a video I did on my old channel before I was awakened to who I was. And I talked about the whole George Floyd thing and then putting bricks outside as well. Check this out. Let me make sure this is up. Okay, check it out.
Yeah, they put them there. This the setup. They put them there on purpose, y'all know where we at. They gonna set them on right up on the rail. Y'all know what building this is right here. I ain't even gonna say what name it is. Hey, where do them bricks go to? Where do them bricks go to? Where do them bricks go to? We gotta do better. Ain't no damn construction. Gotta do better. Ain't no damn construction around here. I see. Ain't no damn construction around here. You just gonna set a pallet of bricks right there. Oh, okay. Listen, I did jury duty 3 months ago. Y'all don't keep no bricks right there. Do better. Do better. I see you.
There is no... Okay. So you see here, they are using the same playbook they used in 2020, okay? And you better believe that there will probably be another situation similar to what happened to George Floyd, similar to what happened to Sonia Massey and many others, okay? That will lead to the rioting. And of course, you will also have your provocateurs, just like the man that was carrying around the umbrella that was, smashing the windows and stuff. Yeah, those are provocateurs. Those are paid agents. Okay. If you get Negroes mad enough, right? Which is why I'm telling you, do not take the bait. You get Negroes mad enough and they see people smashing stuff, they will most likely follow suit because they're operating from a place of anger and frustration with this system. Family, I understand we are tired of this country. I get it. I'm tired of it too. And sometimes in my mind, I'll be like, man, I want to burn this thing down, right? But our Father, he is going to do all of that. We got to just wait on him. We should not be moving prematurely, because when we move prematurely and we go against what he wants for us to do, we no longer are under his protection. And bad things are going to happen because you got a whole nation here in America that is against you. All right. These Muslims want to knock your head off. These white supremacists want to knock your heads off. These Hispanics come in here want to knock your heads off. And some of these Hamites come in here want to knock your head off. Everybody's against you. All right. I'm sorry to tell you that. It is what it is. I'm going to tell you the truth. All of these people are against you. So it's important that you understand that in this type of situation with this political climate, do y'all think it's an accident that you have all of these situations taking place with the election right down the, right around the corner. And then you also have the Palestine-Israel thing. And I'm going to also show you guys that there's something going on with that as well. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. Now, I also want to show you guys something else here. I also want to remind you that you're going to see a lot of these celebrities coming out and speaking about, police brutality and a lot of these other things to rile you up, because that's part of the game. Shane Hadnot is in the building. Shalom, good to see you. All praises. Let me show y'all this next video here. Just want you guys to remind you of the playbook that they use, because a lot of things that happened in 2020 was really more so just, a trial run. Okay, check this out. Just want y'all to remember how they use these sellouts to basically pull on your heartstrings and get you to be out in the streets.
Of a host of stars opening up about the killing of George Floyd by police. She and best friend Gayle King shared their thoughts in a deep conversation as part of Oprah's 2020 Vision Tour.
Thank God for the videotape. Listen, if there wasn't a videotape, in the Central Park case, in this case, in the Ahmaud Arbery case, people say, well, it's better. Racism isn't better. Racism still exists. It's just now on video. And I think that's why
I just find it so interesting how these two women can talk about racism and police brutality, but yet they are working behind the scenes to do everything to destroy the Black community. And they got Jewish money going into their bank accounts, and they want to sit here and talk about racism. This is exactly why I don't listen to these people. This is why I take them for a joke. Oprah, Gayle King, some of these black boule boys like Roland Martin and many of them. So y'all gotta understand that not everybody that looks like you is for you. The Jewish people told them to get on camera and talk about this. Okay, they are sliding them, a paycheck to talk about this and to rile you up. They don't care about you. All right, I'm sorry to tell you this, family, but some of these people do not care about you. If you think Esau is your enemy, you need to also understand that those that have made a covenant with Esau, that are bought and paid for by Esau, are just as much as your enemy as him. As him. They enjoy all the benefits of being a tap dancer. So they shouldn't be talking to black people about anything, because none of these folks have done anything for us. Y'all remember when Michael Jackson, Oprah bought Michael Jackson on her show and made millions and millions of dollars. And then, literally a few years down the line, she turned around and she said, oh, he's a pedophile. Gayle King, interviewed R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying that the man ain't got some kind of issues when it comes to young girls, but we can't sit here and act like a lot of these women that were talking about him and saying he did this and he did that were not paid. These people have built their career. These two women have built their career on destroying the black man, destroying the perception of black men. And don't even get me started on that movie, The Color Purple. Are you curious as to why Oprah decided to re-release that? These people are detrimental to the black community. But a lot of times people see black, they see black, and they're just like, oh, no biggie.
It's painful, actually. And you can't forget because you are not supposed to forget. And you cannot just let yourself be outraged. In this moment of your outrage, the next time you see an injustice and you turn and pretend that you didn't see it, then you are a part of the problem. So you take your outrage and you use it. You take your outrage and you use it to work to dismantle.
You see that? Do you see how they are planting seeds? Okay? They will do the same thing when it comes to riots. You got to understand that there is no new world order with the problem, reaction, solution. Okay. So I believe that there will be many more, events that will take place leading up to the election about police brutality, a black man unalived unjustly, a black woman attacked, or whatever the case might be. And they're going to use that, and they're going to get their little sellouts and their little puppets to get you all stirred up in your feelings. And that's really all it took. Stuff like this, propaganda like this, to get people out in the streets during the whole George Floyd thing.
The constructs of the injustice.
I know this is black and white, and this was clearly race when I look at this, and anybody with two eyes sees race too, but it should be about the humanity of all of us.
We're broken and we're disgusted. We cannot normalize this pain.
Beyonce took to Instagram to honor Floyd, saying he is all of our family and humanity. The Grammy winner is asking her millions of fans to take action by signing petitions for change, one of which hit nearly 12 million signatures. Meanwhile, her former Destiny's Child bandmate Kelly Rowland shared her emotional reaction during an interview with ET.
Yesterday, I was just mad, like red mad. And then last night, it was like tough to sleep. I'm happy that it's actually bothering us to the way it is now.
A lot of police brutality has gone on. Change is going to start with George Floyd. America, you don't want us pulling the you on you.
And Jay.
All right, we'll skip forward.
For every unchecked moment, for every time it was easier to ignore than to call it out for what it was.
Every not so funny joke. Every unfair stereotype.
Every blatant injustice, no matter how big or small.
Every time I remained silent.
Every time I explained away police brutality. Or turned a blind eye. I take responsibility. Black people are being slaughtered in the streets, killed.
Now, we have been saying this for so long, right? And this is my issue with these people. They could sit here and tell us what we've been dealing with for so long. And for so long, they didn't really care. And they just act like it wasn't a big deal. But it had to take a man to have a knee on his neck. These people should have been speaking out when it came to Rodney King. They should have been speaking out when it came to Fred Hampton. They should have been, because we have been screaming this from the top of our lungs for so long. But a black man had to die in the worst way for these celebrities and these other individuals to come out and say anything about it. Oprah didn't give a damn. She only gave a damn because she could use this plight to monetize the oppression of black people, to monetize the pain of black people. And no, I do not support Black Lives Matter. I agree with the sentiment, but I do not support the organization. Black Lives Matter was nothing but a Marxist LGBT organization that was hiding behind the pain of the plight of Negroes in the streets. Okay, that's all it was. And I called it out long time ago. I've been said that this is not for us. It's run by George Soros. If you know who he is, he's a white man. He's a billionaire. Okay, when you have their money, jumping into these kind of things, it's always going to be a problem. Virtuous Woman says, I missed the beginning. It's okay, sis. We're only 22 minutes into this show, so we still got more to get through. All right, y'all, we're going to move on. Now, I want to show you guys this too. So somebody asked me about what is the deal with the BRICS? Well, right now, they are having riots outside the DNC, and this is some footage of this. Now, I believe that this is just a lead up to something bigger, but let me show you guys. They got UN troops out there and everything. Okay, you see what's going on here? Do you see what's going on? All right. And like I said, many of these illegals, these so-called illegals you hearing about, a lot of them are troops. They are UN undercover troops. And this is only just a small bit of what is coming to America. All right. These people are already ready. They're already preparing for riots. They're already ready for when the crap hits the fan, when the proverbial peanut butter hits the fan, they're ready to go. They are ready to go. This is just kind of planting seeds. That's all it's really doing. Chaos is coming, y'all. Chaos is coming. I don't know how else to tell you this. I don't know how any other way to tell you. Chaos is coming and bad things are about to happen these next few months. You just need to make sure that your trust is in the Most High. Your trust is in Yahushua HaMashiach. You are living out his ways. You are not, 1 foot in the truth, 1 foot out of the truth. You are not breaking his commandments. You are keeping Torah. You are keeping your mind on him. Now, the reason why we do these shows is because we want you to be aware of what's going on in the world. We want you not to be ignorant of what's coming. We want you not to be ignorant of these things because I'm warning you. I'm blowing the shofar, right? I'm warning you of what's coming. But at the end of the day, you cannot lose your Amunah in Yahuwah. Lady Warrior for y'all says, I will pray the Malachim down from the Shamayim if they even think to try it with me. Right. Now, I want y'all to also factor in that we are in the midst of a so-called emergency about the pandemic. So now you got to factor that in as well. So you've got racial tension. You've got an election coming up. You've got a pandemic. You've got a Pakistani or Palestinian war going on. You've got all of these different events taking place right now. Oh, chaos is coming. Let me show y'all this other video. It says, welcome to DNC week. The city of Chicago is preparing for massive riots, looting, and violence. Let me be clear. This didn't happen at the RNC. Liberals will hate you if you follow and share this video. So, of course, you know, they got the Trump supporters saying that this is all liberals. This is perfect for their, you know, narrative that they want to push. So let's watch this. But you can see this right here will spill over into the Republican thing. Now, the Republicans are already saying that if Donald Trump doesn't win, that they want a civil war. And there's already information coming out that Donald Trump is going to get arrested in September. So I'm just saying something's up.
This isn't Republicans. This isn't MAGA. This isn't Republicans trying to break into the DNC. This is Democrats fighting amongst each other. They're all protesting the Kamala Harris DNC, getting her inaugurated or getting her elected, I guess, officially. And they hate it. I asked all these people, are they voting for Kamala Harris? They've said no. This is an internal war. It's going to help out Republicans tremendously. Democrats, you're in shambles right now.
Now, what I find very interesting is this image. Now, this is somebody at the DNC. Let me see. I'll pull it up here. Take a look at this. This is not the Republican National Conference, but this is the DNC. Take a look at what her sign says. I think that these Democrats, they're showing their true colors now. And like I said, I'm not here to side with the Republicans either, because they just as racist. My point is both sides are against you. That's what I want you to see. Democrats are just being a little bit more honest about it now. Take a look.
Has that worked? What are you hoping you're going to get out of this?
For a riot.
You see that? Democratic National Convention. F hard ERs. Go back to that S hole you came from. Eat SHIT, race war now. Now, I want y'all to understand something, okay? I want y'all to pay close attention to what I'm telling you. The fact that this is on a major news outlet, the fact that this is out there for everyone to see is because they are planting seeds, okay? They are planting seeds in people's minds. It doesn't matter who gets in office. There will be chaos. And do I believe she's an agent? Absolutely. Oh, 100%.
I'm not looking for people.
Look at that. You see that right there? Uh-huh. Now, y'all remember the videos in Tennessee where you got the white supremacists marching around in the streets, you know, insulting and belittling little black Negro boys? None of this is an accident. This is all on purpose. And yes, many of these people are agents.
To get severely injured or injured in general. I am here because it's a fun time. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Holding this sign feels fun to you?
Yes.
Do you worry that you're hurting the larger message here? Do you support the larger message here, man?
Now, notice the flag. Now, this is supposed to be, I'm assuming, about Palestine. But somehow you get dragged into this. So she ain't really against Israel. She ain't really against Palestine. She's against you. There's many of her who think like that. Because at the end of the day, if we're going to really be honest with you, if we're going to be honest about this, they'll all unite against you. They can put all their differences aside and unite against you.
Oh, I'm not anti-war. I'm anti-Israel.
Do you worry that your sign is harming the cause? Because there's, I mean, obviously there's a lot of tensions and cameras and stuff on your side.
I understand that.
Not representing the overall.
Well, I don't represent anyone, my friend. I don't represent any group but myself.
I agree. You do not represent this crowd.
No, absolutely.
Do you worry that being someone who opposes this war, that your message might get undue attention and then kind of
backfire?
Hurt the cause. Hurt the cause of shutting up.
But is that really my responsibility?
It's something you want. You said you want it.
I don't want the war, but what can one person do? What can I do? This is just.
And I believe she's definitely an agent because, I mean, look at the purple hair. You usually connect that to liberals, okay? But then you have the, you know, the signage right here. You've got the symbolism, and then you also got, you know, get AIDS and DIE. I mean, it's so obvious what they're doing, y'all. It's so obvious, the manipulation. And, you know, black people see something like that. I'm like, oh, we'll go down there right now and we'll do something to these people. Do not fall for it. Do not fall for any of this. They are baiting you. They are absolutely baiting you. If you noticed, even when it comes to Trump and everything else that they've been doing when it comes to him, and just, it's like he's constantly making fun of you and mocking you. And I still see people saying, well, you know, Trump 2024. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about. I want you to listen to how he says things in this video and how he puts emphasis on certain words. Oh, well, she said she was a black woman. Like, he's making fun of you, dude. Let me see. I'm trying to find the video. Give me a second. I got it right here. Now, look at this. First, let me show you this real quick. Before I show you the video of him, take a look at this video first, and then I'll show you that video.
What do you think about Kamala?
It'll be cool. She's terrible. If she comes into office, it will be done. It'll be cool to see a female black. You know, she's half black, not fully black, but it'll be cool to see a black president,
Western Indian.
female black president. But I'm definitely voting for Trump.
Let me tell you something. She tried to get the black vote. Because if you look at her past things, and maybe 10, 15 years ago, when she's in interviews, she identifies as West Indian.
She does.
The only way that she's identified as African American is right now. Doing right now. Because she wants the voters. But she doesn't give a fuck. Because where was she at in these past 4 years if she's vice president? What has she done for us?
She have not.
Can you say one thing that
I didn't even know she was the vice president?
Can we say?
You didn't even know that she was vice president, but yet you're voting. You're looking to uphold her because she's so-called black. So you know you're gonna vote for Trump, but you didn't know that she was vice president to Joe Biden these last 4 years. Oh my gosh.
Say what she has done.
Let's go, Trump.
And I am going to stand on Trump. And I'm so sorry if that may ruffle people's feathers. But I have done my own research. And Trump has done a lot for us, more than what the media tries to portray.
What has he done, though? This is what I'm saying. Anytime you ask a Negro, what has Trump done for black people? They'll talk about, well, he did this for the HBCUs. He did this for this and that. But guess what? Even when he was president, we were still going through it. Yeah, gas prices were lower, but y'all got to understand that they are steering you towards the right on purpose. They are doing this. You had to deal with somebody like Joe Biden. You had to deal with someone so you could think that the Democrats are completely, you know what I'm saying, inept in politics, right? Then what you're going to naturally do, because you don't understand that you shouldn't be voting for heathens, period. Yahuwah said that no heathen can rule over you. That is not of your people. That is not of your tribe. Why would I vote for a heathen? Why would I vote for an Edomite? That makes no sense. But see, we feel like, oh, we have to vote for these people. We have no choice but to vote for these people, because if we don't, things are never going to get better for us. But this is the importance of knowing who you are, because when you know who you are, you realize what the Bible says, that you will be hated by all nations. You will be sold to a nation that has no pity on the poor, the young, the old, none of them. How long have we been voting and nothing has changed? And then they say, well, you know, we weren't allowed to vote before, so we need to vote now. Trump hasn't said not one damn thing he's going to do for black people. Not one thing. But because of the media and because of the celebrities and the rappers and all this other stuff, people just follow the suit. You got to be an independent thinker. You can't just be following the herd. And that's what many of them are doing. They can't really tell you much about Trump other than the same talking points over and over again.
Right. They're getting all our favorite rappers. They're having Megan Thee Stallion twerk and all of that to gain, because they think that that's going to make us vote for them. And that's not.
Okay, but Trump did the same thing, sis. Hold on. So she's basically saying that there's political pandering with like rappers and artists and stuff like that. But according to Donald Trump, it's the same thing. He got Amber Rose, who is mostly supported by black women, even though she says she ain't black and she don't even identify as black. Then you have these rappers that Trump is also using to pander to black people. So both sides are literally just making fun of you. But let me just show y'all that because, you know, I guess people got short-term memory and they tend to forget things. But look at this.
Make America great again.
How is this not the same thing? How is this not the same thing? I'm just trying to understand.
Thank you, Carlos. I appreciate you. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. That's what I like those teeth. I want to find out where you did. I got to get my teeth like that. I want that to happen to me.
How do I get my teeth like that? Okay, basic stereotypes. Black people like to get grills or the gold teeth or whatever. I got to get my teeth like that. Our people are so blind, man. It's really sad. And I know some of y'all might get tired of me constantly talking about this and bringing it up, but, you know, I'm going to continue to do it before, you know, it's too late. I got to continue to sound the alarm. I got to continue to, you know, talk about these things. Miss Cali Queen, headed back inside. We'll catch you on the playback, love. Stay vigilant. All praise to the Most High. Hey, sis, love you so much. Thank you for coming to chill with us for a little bit. It's always good to see you, sis. Much love to you. They need the so-called black vote because we are not the minority. Exactly. Exactly. And once our people started to realize that, things would change a lot. Imagine if every single Negro said, I ain't voting for none of these Caucasians or none of these other nations. I'm just going to sit this out, right? Everything would change.
And that never got my vote.
And that will never get my vote. And I'm going to stand on that. Twerking
did
and
not get my
having
vote.
Meg Thee Stallion. First off, the song that she was even saying is very.
It kind of reminds me of when they had what's her name? Oh girl, I'm trying to think what her name is. Cardi B. Joe Biden got Cardi B because they know she's ignorant, she's dumb, she doesn't know anything about politics. They got her to, you know, get Joe Biden on her platform, and he knew that her fans or that follower, because I mean, you can't have common sense and listen or even pay attention to anything somebody like Cardi B has to say. But he knew that he could use her to pander to black people because a lot of Negroes support her, even though she ain't one of us either. You know what I'm saying? And that's all it took. Black woman Trump voter in Wisconsin says Kamala's trying to copy Trump's policies. Everyone can see through Kamala's BS. Now, you're also noticing that there is a divide in the black community because black women, some black women, I won't say all, some black women want to see her in office because they still can't accept the fact she's not black, right? But then there are black men who saying, I ain't rocking with that. I don't want, you know what I'm saying, this woman ruling over us. Because if I'm being honest with you, Kamala Harris she's from California. I'm from California. I was born and raised in LA. All right. She has done a lot of detrimental things to black men. And I've said that so many times. But because it hasn't affected black women as much, they might say, oh, well, it's not a big deal. I just want to see a black woman in office. But y'all are discounting the fact she's not black. Let's play this.
And why is that? A lot of the stuff Kamala says is kind of like what Trump has said, like no taxes on tips was something that was kind of reiterated by Trump beforehand. She's just kind of been caught up in a lot of lies.
And I want to say this too. This whole gender war thing has been going on for a while. And I believe that this gender war is being exacerbated by this whole political thing. Because if a black man says, I don't support Kamala Harris, some black women, not all, will say, well, you don't want to see a black woman win. So this is the perfect thing. And then if the black man decides he's going to vote for Donald Trump, then she'll say, oh, you love massa. You don't support black women. You hate black women. So this is a perfect way to also cause the gender, the war of the sexes, right? Black man versus black woman, right? So it's a very, 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 very strategic thing that they're doing right now to divide the Negro community. Now, let me show you guys this video here. about Donald Trump talking about Kamala and her so-called blackness. And I just want you to listen to how he says everything.
Sir, do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because she is a black woman?
Well, I can say no. I think it's maybe a little bit different. So I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much. And she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She is always
But you know
identified
what?
as a black woman.
I
She went to
respect
Berkeley
either
Black
one.
College.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn and she became a black person.
Just to be clear.
Okay, do you hear how he's saying that? Oh, she's black. She became a black person. He's making fun of you, dude. How do people not see this? See, the thing about Trump, and I've said this many times, is, like I said, Republicans, they are overtly racist and Democrats are covertly racist. But what's interesting about Donald Trump is he is covertly racist. Okay, he's not as overtly racist as his fan base. His fan base is very overtly racist when it comes to you. But him, he's very covertly racist when he says things. Like even Candace Owens was reacting to this and laughing. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, the way he says black is so funny. Da, 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 da. But he's very covertly racist. So if you don't understand how a covert racist works, it will probably go right over your head. You know, you'll just think he's just being funny. But you'll notice he says everything normally. But when it comes to the word black, there's a change in his tone.
But she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn and she became a black person.
Just to be clear, sir, do
And
you
I
believe
think
that she is
somebody should look into that too when you ask continue in a very hostile, nasty tone.
Okay. All right, we're gonna move on. Unapologetically Real says, I'm not gonna lie, the blindness and conditioning of our people saddens me deeply. You know what? It does sadden me too. It really does. But I don't think a lot of our people have their eyes all the way open. And the problem is that there is a sense of self-hate that is being mingled in with this. Let me show you guys something here. I honestly believe that some people are jumping into this because there's a way to monetize it. I kid you not. Take a look at this video. It's a black woman. She sells Confederate flags, Confederate hats, Donald Trump merch. There's something going on in the black community that is very diabolical.
Every woman ought to have one of these. It's one of those things that when people see one, then they want one. Same thing with the Confederate hat. You know why? Because people don't think you have the nerve to do it.
Joanne Price runs a Trump store in Christiansburg, Virginia. When Joe Biden announced he wouldn't run for president again, was there any part of you who felt a pull to vote for Harris?
No, absolutely not. I would not vote for either one of them. I would not vote the Democratic ticket. No way.
This is a white coach card. And this is just a play. It just says this card trumps everything, and it gives a barrier, happiness and success because of the color of the skin.
And who buys that?
White people. Okay. It's funny.
And then when you give it to a state trooper,
So they're over here selling white privilege cards. Oh, man. I'm buffering right now. I don't even know what to say, honestly. Now, it could be more so that they're doing this because they know that there's a way to monetize it. I mean, look at Candace Owens. You know what I'm saying? She has built her platform. And I'm going to be honest with you. There is a lot of money to be made in anti-blackness. There is a lot of money to be made in racism, especially when it comes to that fan base. There's a lot of money to be made in that. And a lot of people have no problem selling out their own and you know, tap dancing in order to monetize it. And I'm sure she makes some dang good money. You could tell by that smile on her face. Boy, no morals.
you know, I'm gonna write you a ticket.
You think so?
I've experienced it. Yeah.
Wait, really?
And then he said, okay, he laughed at it and gave it back to me and did not write me a ticket.
This actually happened at least once elsewhere. In 2022, a woman claimed Alaska police let her go without a ticket when she flashed a white privilege card instead of a driver's license.
It's humorous to us, you know. It really is. It's humorous to the average American that here.
The 2 to 1, he was a Republican too.
Trump has been working to appeal to Black voters, and polls showed some success when Biden was still in the race, but have since gone down. The Trump campaign this year has made a big effort to reach out to Black voters. What do you think of their efforts?
I think their efforts are succeeding tremendously. All the things that have happened to President Trump, the attacks on him, have done nothing
I'm voting for a felon.
more than strengthen Black people's connection to him, because now he's someone who is the target of a struggle, and they have always felt that they've been a target. I did prison ministries for 5 years. So, you know, if you're a convicted felon and then somebody else is a convicted felon, there's a camaraderie there.
Donald Trump attacked Kamala Harris, questioning her racial identity. She's Black.
Promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was Black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn Black, and now she wants to be known as Black.
He's acknowledged his commentary has provoked mixed reactions. Price is just one person and not a swing voter. But we were curious what she made of his comments, given that she's a Black woman and fervent Trump supporter and former local Republican Party chair. How do you make sense of how Trump talks about Vice President Kamala Harris? That he sort of suggested he doesn't understand her biracial background, that first she was Indian and then she was Black. What do
I
you
don't
make of
understand
that?
it either. She's Indian and she's Jamaican.
Yeah.
Is she Black?
I mean, do you not think she's Black?
Is she? Was she born here?
Yes.
Yes. Were her parents citizens? No.
Okay. But we have birthright citizenship in America.
Mm-hmm.
We
call that anchor.
People can't immigrate here and not be citizens, but have green cards and work permits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. However, she can claim to be Black because of her Jamaican father. You know, that's her right. We're a melting pot, you know, because I basically have a combination in my family as well.
How do you reconcile that? Like, you have a history of blended families in your family. How do you reconcile that with Trump seeming to not understand how Kamala Harris could have a blended family herself?
She could have a blended family. What I'm saying is his comments about that, I think he's making a point. And, you know, I'm not so disturbed by that.
But what is the point he's making?
The point he's making simply is that she is not a black person.
There were some mixed views on the idea of a woman president. What do you think about Kamala Harris?
Kamala Harris, may I say this, and hopefully that you ladies won't get offended. But because of what happened in the Garden of Eden, there will never be an elected woman, whether she's black or white, that will occupy the White House that God would ever stand behind.
I'm not sure America's quite ready for female leadership. It would be wonderful to have a female president if and when one rises that has conservative values that are going to lead the nation in prosperity.
Did Joe Biden dropping out change your view of the election at all?
Oh, it sure did. I think she's going to be worse than Joe. I just don't think she has the experience. I think she was only chosen because she was a woman.
He has been mocked, scrutinized, slandered, dragged into court. This man is still standing, and he's standing strong.
And look at that, right next to the white Jesus. Are you surprised? Are you surprised? Oh, boy. Yeah. I don't don't even know what to say. I'm honestly speechless, but we're gonna move on. So I was talking about before on many shows, I have talked about this disdain for African people that I'm seeing being pushed more and more and more on TikTok. You're finding a lot of anti-African rhetoric that is being floated around. You've got FBAs like, you know, what's his name? Tariq Nasheed, you know, that tap dancing, you know what I'm saying, raccoon. It's pushing this anti-African rhetoric and stuff like that. So let me show y'all this video here. And you got to understand that whenever there's anti-African rhetoric, it's also anti-Negro rhetoric. They lump us all in the same category. Check this out. Full screen this. Okay.
And one more thing before I go to bed. Y'all keep talking about y'all don't want to go to Africa because Africans don't even like us. Look how they talk about us. Look how they talk about us on social media. Look how we talk about them. We don't even like them. Let's be honest. When an African immigrant came to your school in elementary, middle school, and high school, what happened? Crickets. What happened? Y'all used to bully them. Y'all used to call them African booty. And then somebody, when I said that in my comments, somebody was like, oh, we call black people African too, right? No, y'all call dark-skinned black people African scratchers because y'all associate dark-skinned people as being African. Like, I don't know how to explain it. If you get it, you get it. You don't, you don't. So y'all just weird. Like, that's all I gotta say. Y'all just weird. Like, y'all hate yourselves. Y'all hate your own continent. Like, it don't even matter. Y'all are weird. And y'all gonna see. Y'all love these white people so bad, but y'all gonna see.
Now, keep in mind, I talked about this before, but in South Africa, there's an area called Orania, okay, that is run by these individuals, Edomites, and they don't want you anywhere around it, all right? So I want you to understand that even they go to Africa and the same prejudice and anger that they have towards you, they bring it over there. And so now they made it this area where they don't want you around. They go back to your crop hole.
No gate in that municipality. The town is, there's no rubbish and shit flying all over the place. But then you get some of these stupid fucking racists, black racists on Twitter that makes all sorts of comments about Orania. And they bitch about the fact that they can't live there. You are right, you can't live there. You need to live in a shithole because that's your natural habitat. In a shithole. That is what you like. You like it. Why don't you want to live there? Why? Stay away from there. It's going to upset you tremendously. You're going to be so fucking busy trying to throw dirt and shit around in the streets and break windows and things like that. You will not be able to do anything else. Stay away from there. Go and destroy your fucking living environment. You're doing well. You are very successful. Go and look at what Alexandra looks like. It's a fucking shithole. Go and look at every township. The fucking shithole. Because you throw your dirt, you throw your rubbish everywhere, you tuck in the streets, you piss against the walls, all of those things. That's how you live. So why the fuck do you worry about Orania? It's clean. Keep your fucking dirty mouth off that. Stay in your shithole. That is your shithole. That is what you enjoy. Be happy in your shithole. Why do you want to go and turn Orania into a shithole? Stay in your own shithole. Just sit where you're sitting now listening to me. Look around you in your own fucking little room. How much cock is lying around there? That is your environment. Leave other people's environments alone.
Okay, so if you're saying leave other people's environments alone, then why even come to Africa in the first place? Why even come to Africa in the first place? Y'all come there and y'all colonize areas, y'all take over areas, overrun areas, and then you tell us not to, bother other people's. I was just about to say that. I'm like, isn't your natural habitat the Caucasus Mountains? I thought that was y'all's natural habitat. The people of the Caucasus. So I'm like, I'm trying to make sense of what he's saying, because I'm like, well, that doesn't even make any sense. Y'all were happy there. Y'all seem to enjoy it a lot because y'all was there for so long.
That is Caucasian from the mountains of Caucasus.
I'm like, oh boy. Okay. So you have that going on right now. And let me tell you, his thought process about African people is not unique at all. All right, I want to show you guys a few more things here. This video here is picking up some rounds. I don't know if this video was recent. I just been seeing it pop up a lot, but actually it looked like it's from 2020, but for some reason it seems to be picking up traction again. So let me show y'all this.
Slavery was not genocide. Otherwise, there wouldn't be so many damn blacks in Africa or in Britain, would there? An awful lot of them survived. What again? There's no point in arguing against globalization or Western civilization. They are all products of it. We are all products of it. The honest teaching of the British Empire is to say, quite simply, it is the first key stage of world globalization. It's probably the most important moment in human history, and it is still with us. Its consequences are still on, and generally speaking, in most ways, actually fruitful. There are downsides, again, as the Brexit vote demonstrated. So that's how you go about tackling it. And as for the idea, as I said, that slavery is this kind of terrible disease that dare not speak its name, it only dare not speak its name, Darren, because we settled it nearly 200 years ago. We don't normally go on about the fact that Roman Catholics once upon a time didn't have a vote and weren't allowed to have their own churches because we had Catholic emancipation. And you know what? We had Catholic.
I want to read this comment. Caribou Dishabi says, these are the people we deal with every day. Recently, one of our brothers was in Irania and they were vexed beyond measure. Yeah, I mean, they don't want Africans, South Africans specifically, because that's where Irania is. It's in South Africa. They do not want Africans there anywhere in that area. And I just find it so interesting how people can just come there and take something over and say who has a right to be there and who doesn't. I just find that so interesting. And then people get mad when you say that these people are colonizers. How do you not want Africans in Africa? That's what I'm saying. And I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to be real with y'all. They want the land to themselves. Okay? They understand Europe, America, these Western countries cannot survive without Africa. They know this. And so what they really want is they want your land. The land Yahuwah gave to our forefathers, the land of Shem, they want that. Okay? And they want that and all of the continent to themselves. Okay? That's what this is really about. They want to take what's yours. If that dirt place called Israel, that fraud land was truly the land of milk and honey, why are people not flocking there? Why are they not setting up their own areas over there? They don't want that. They want the real land of milk and honey. If these Europeans did not see some kind of value in Africa, they would not be flocking to Africa. Okay? That land called so-called Israel is dirt. It's a dirt land. There's nothing there of value. Okay? It's just all lies. It's all to push the big lie. That's what it is. They want your land. They want what Yahuwah gave you. Okay? That's what this is really about. And taking the resources contained within. Oh, boy. Boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. Now, I saw a video the other day of Candace Owens. And, you know, I know we all feel a way about that woman. What I find interesting about her, though, is she is now calling out them folks claiming to be us. Not in the way that you would want her to, where she's admitting that they are imposters, they are Amalek, they are Edomites, they are Khazars. But she did say that they are not the true Jews. Usually when people that are Christians say that is because they're saying that the true chosen people are Christians, which is foolishness. But what I do find interesting is, how is she being given the platform to be able to say these things and not get censored? Because if I would say some of the things that she's about to say, I would be permanently banned off YouTube. Which makes me believe that they're allowing her to say these things because she has an agenda. Now, I do believe she is controlled opposition when I see images like this. Okay? This is clearly controlled opposition right here. You see the hands? Trump makes the same symbol with his hands. Okay? Look at this. Same figure, same hands. This is the Freemasonic pyramid hand symbolism. Okay? Keep in mind, Candace Owens, I believe 100% is controlled opposition. And I'm going to show you the video in a second, but you guys also need to remember that she recently converted to Roman Catholicism. I believe that she has a big hand in the one world religion. Let me show you all that real quick. Candace Owens. I mean, the black and white tile floor that she was walking on, that told you everything you need to know. Look at this. You think this is a coincidence? Look at the black and white tile floor. Look at the white Jesus. Okay? So she is controlled opposition, y'all. All right? So that's exactly why she's allowed to say what I'm about to show you on a public platform. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but I just want you to listen to some of the stuff she's saying.
I am so sick of the cowardice, okay? I shouldn't even say it first with me. It just downright just makes me realize how much we have lost what it means to be a real man in society. The fact that I am a woman, okay, and I am the person that is saying this, okay? The fact that there are so many conservative commentators who pretend that they're so brave because they're talking about like what happened in the latest Trump thing, blah, blah, and then on the topic of pedophilia, they're mom, okay? I should not be the only one calling out how many times Zionists defend pedophiles and criminals. This is not normal, okay? Why does Israel allow pedophiles from America to flee and receive protection from their state? Why are we, the country that's funding their bullshit, okay, not allowed to extradite our pedophiles? Does anybody have an answer? I don't know, show your hands. Anybody like, oh no, that's totally normal. It makes total sense. Like, can't even asking the question is anti-Semitic. Like, no, guys, there's like a problem here that we can't get our pedophiles back from a nation that we've given billions.
Okay, so I want y'all to hear what she's saying. Okay, well, like I said, we're not gonna watch this whole thing. It's an 8-minute rant. But on Twitter, she basically released this video and she said that there are a bunch of PDF files. She said that, and she also said they're not the true chosen people. The Rothschilds created Israel, so on and so forth. We've been saying this for a very, very long time, but I want y'all to understand that. Look at the symbolism behind her. You see the cross right there. I showed you the black and white tile floor. What she is doing is she is creating this narrative. And you notice, as I said, black people are moving on over to the Trump side. That's the side that she panders to, okay? A lot of people are starting to see the truth for what it is, but it's still a lie if the true children of Israel or Yahshua are not identified. So if a person is going around saying these things about them, but they're not revealing to you who the true children of Israel are, who the true Israelites are, then it really means nothing. Because then you have to ask yourself, if they're not the people, then who are? And then she turns around and says, well, it's the Christians. The Christians are so-called God's people. That doesn't do us any good at the end of the day.
Of dollars to. That doesn't make sense. Why would you want, as a small nation that is the size of New Jersey, okay, why would you want the pedophiles to flee there? Like, why would you want the pedophiles to be procreating?
Somebody says she need to be calling out the Catholic priests. Yeah, they're a bunch of PDF files too, because I mean, we ain't got to talk about them touching on little boys and all this other stuff. And I noticed a lot of the things that she's been saying is about Christian persecution. You know what I'm saying? Like Christians, oh, we're so that narrative is also part of the agenda as well, that Christians are persecuted. And what that does is it takes away from the persecution of Yahuwah's true people. Okay? So I want y'all to understand that Christianity is not just about paganism. It's not just about a false Messiah. It's not just about lawlessness, but it's also the replacement of Yasharal. Okay, because if they can admit that the Jewish people are not the true people, they can also say, well, the Christians are. Not the children of Yasharal, not the Negroes that have been scattered all across the four corners of the earth and all throughout the continent of Africa after Syrian captivity, but the Christian people who are so persecuted. The Bible says that you'll be persecuted for my name's sake, right? So they say, well, we're Christians. We follow what we call Christ. Therefore, we're the persecuted people. This just gives more strength to replacement theology. And that's ultimately what this is.
Unless the nation of Israel may have been established by some Frankists. And it's looking like Theodore Herzl's family was from the exact same area in Moravia and in Bohemia where the Frankist cult was founded. Crazy when you get into his family. That, like, maybe Theodore Herzl, who wrote in a book that he didn't care how many Jews had to die for him to get to the state of Israel, like, maybe he was not actually a Torah worshiping Jew. Like, I don't know. I'm just throwing out some ideas here. And by throwing out some ideas, I mean, I've read a ton of books and I figured it out. Okay. I am just like so over the idea that Israel is our ally. And if another person says that stupid statement, I'm going to personally punch you in the face. I am. It's going to be me. That's a joke. Don't take this video off of Twitter. Wink. But like, I cannot stand the people that sound like bots, the spineless cowards. And I'm calling out all of you men. Everybody who has a check mark and also has a penis and has not said anything about Israel protecting pedophiles or has said the statement like, our friend and ally, and but can't justify him. I'm talking specifically to you. So if you're sitting there wondering, you're like, hey, I have a check mark and I'm a guy. I have a penis. And I've never said, I'm talking to you. Yeah.
I low-key think she's back crap crazy. I'm going to be honest. I mean, she's not even really making a lot of sense. And I just believe that there's something more to this. I really do. I mean, she could just say, and now what's more interesting to me is the babbling she's doing, right? Somebody says she's babbling, right? So what I really find interesting about this whole situation is when it came to, now a lot of the conservatives are calling for her to be removed from Twitter because of what she's saying about them folks. The conservatives, the same ones who are all for free speech, the ones who are all for, I support, people being able to say whatever they want to say. But when it comes to conservatives, one thing that they don't allow is, well, actually two things. You talking about Donald Trump in a negative way, or you talking about them Khazars in a negative way? Now, when it's black people, oh, it's a free-for-all. Say what you need to say. Get it off your chest. Oh, yeah, clap, 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 clap. How can I support you? Now, I'm not going to say that this is not, there may not be something more or something true to this, right? Because, her being fired from the Daily Wire, I've noticed that ever since she got kicked off that show, she's just been going hard at them. But is there a greater agenda to that? Of course there would be. She could be the face of what they call anti-Semitism, because when they passed the bill, they already were coming for people that believe in what you call the renewed covenant, or what some people say the New Testament, right? What if she is the Trojan horse to bringing in the Noahide laws, where you won't be able to say anything about them, anything at all? I mean, people are still going to speak the truth. I'm still going to speak the truth about them folk. I don't care about that. But Noahide laws are on their agenda. That they are building about their, Jew world order, right? Just like with Kanye West. Do y'all remember all the things that he said? Now, she's closely connected to Kanye West. He started saying all these things, and then they came for him and they gave him a buck break, and he ain't forgotten. What if she is the face of what's going to bring about the Noahide laws? How do you not know that she is not an agent as well? I mean, like I told you, I already believe she's controlled. Now, I posted something about the Revelation 2939. All I did is post Revelations 2939, and I put Jewish people. That tweet got banned. But yet, she can come on here and say all this stuff. Nah, bro. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. And you know, I mean, it's the same thing with Twitter, bro. You can say all the most anti-black stuff you want, but when it comes to saying anything about them, they will ban you for sure. They will limit your tweets for sure. Of course, because they can blame US through her. That is very true, sis. That's a very interesting dynamic to look at. But I'm just saying the wild things that people say about them. Like, I won't be surprised if she starts jumping into Khazar territory because she ain't got there yet. Then eventually that will become a trigger word for algorithms. And if you say Khazar or Khazar, I'm saying it because I can right now. But if you say that, I believe that will be a trigger word as well. Because they're already saying that that's an AS trope. All right, y'all, we're gonna move on. I showed you guys this video before, but I'm gonna show it to you again. And this is just more seeds being planted. Take a listen to what this man says. He's also behind Project 2025, which I've talked about numerous times.
We are going to win. We're in the process of taking this country back. We are in the process of the Second American Revolution, which will remain bloodless if the left allows it to be.
The Second Revolution will remain bloodless. Will remain bloodless if the left allows it to be. So what does that tell you? What does that mean, Yexer? It means that these people will not settle for no defeat of Donald Trump or anything that does not put their pagan hair slicked back like Donald Duck, Donald Trump Messiah in the White House. They will get violent for him. Just keep that in mind. All right, just keep that in mind. Now I'm gonna show y'all something else here. Give me a second. I'm gonna pull it up. You guys need to see this as well.
Many of the drugs, I believe, that children are able to get a hold of nowadays, there would be far fewer mental issues.
What kind of drugs?
Pot, for one.
You disagree with smoking?
You best your sweet Bippy. I grew up with kids that when it was just coming in, and I saw them make complete idiots of themselves. And I said, no, thank you. You go ahead and do it. That's your choice, not mine. I've never broken a law in my life except get a couple of, well, no, I've never actually got a speeding ticket. I've got some warnings.
We can go smoke some pot in my car if you want to break a law.
Not
No.
on your life.
Okay, sorry.
Well, the Civil War was something that no one could do anything about because the whites, quote unquote, whites from the South are not the only ones that had slaves. Okay.
Okay, they love to use this narrative. They love to use this narrative. The whites were not the only ones who had slaves. Black people enslaved black people. Black people turned black people into the slave trade. Because, like I said, they lump Africans in with Africans. They don't realize Africa is like most of the time they call Africa a country. I don't call it what it is, which is a continent, which is filled with 60-something countries with different tribes, different people, different ways of life, different traditions, different cultures. The Hamites sold us to the Europeans. But this is one thing they love to throw around. Well, not all white people had slaves.
Okay. Slaves are all over the world.
When we're talking about slavery in the context of America, I feel like we're talking about the remnants left over from it. Do you think there's a direct effect from slavery to how Black Americans are able to live today?
No, I don't. They have a chance to learn. They live in the best country in the world. If they open their eyes and listen, instead of just focusing on their little area and people that they hang out with, they would learn a lot.
But even I'm gonna
from you. They always tell us, you know, like somebody told me on Twitter, they said, stop talking about slavery. You're not a victim. Get over it. Forget about the past. Let the past go. I said, okay, well, if we're going to forget about the past, how about we burn every single Confederate flag? Let's burn all of them. If we're going to forget about the past, let's burn every single Confederate flag. Throw them in the trash, burn them, salt the earth, scatter the ashes. Okay? See, the problem with people when it comes to conservatism is people are not used to having their talking points challenged. All right? Conservatives know that they're not used to Negroes being able to challenge their talking points. But when someone like me can challenge their talking points, they end up looking extremely stupid, and then they retreat from the conversation. You got to learn how to challenge these talking points that they are using. You feel what I'm saying? That's how you get the upper hand. That's how you get them to shut their mouths. But unfortunately, you know, you look at shows like The Breakfast Club where their talking points are not, you know, the Europeans or the conservatives that come on there and they say these things. You know, these liberal leaning Negroes don't know how to challenge their talking points, and that's exactly why they get away with saying all this stuff. That's why they get away with saying America isn't racist. You got to be somewhat of an astute historian, so you can know history and challenge them. Because as long as you do not challenge their talking points, they will continue to push these narratives. And because their talking points have not been challenged for so long, Negroes are starting to believe it. So you need to push back against these lies that they're telling. And I will continue to push back. It's so important to do that. Now, let me show y'all something else here. Let's see if I can find it. There's this guy, he does a lot of like tap dancing for these folks on the right. And he was talking to somebody and asking them a question, and he ended up getting challenged, and he didn't even know what to say. Because once again, somebody pushed back against what he was saying, that conservative talking point. Because you got to understand that a lot of these conservative talking points are essentially just copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. They hear it from a white man, and then they start saying it. It's not because they do their own research. It's not because, you know, it's not because these are some points that they've come to or conclusions they've come to on their own accord. It's because they've heard it from somebody else. And then they just go with it. And then they just start presenting it to people because they see that Caucasians present it to people of color. And then they say, oh, well, they can't challenge that. I'm going to use that. Oh, that could work. Let me add that to my repertoire when I'm dealing with Negroes. So give me a second. I'm going to try to find it. I have it here in my saved archive videos here. I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about in just a second. Let's see. Let me read some of y'all comments while I look that up. Let's see what y'all are saying here. It's because they don't educate the people on critical thinking or research skills. Right. And also and that's another reason why they banned critical race theory. They banned critical race theory because when you know history, you are easily able to challenge these talking points. But they want to cover up. See, they think that, you know, we can't be held accountable if you don't remember it. If you don't know it, then you can't hold that against us. But the whole reason why they want to ban critical race theory is because they feel guilty about what they've done. And they don't want to tell them, you know, they've said it out of their own mouths. Like, we don't want our children to know about this. We want to act like we've just been complete saints. You know what I'm saying? And we don't have evil intentions and we haven't done evil things. They want to continue to push the idea of whiteness is next to godliness, at least for them, right? And so that narrative falls apart when their children start to understand that they have done the most evil things, the most inhumane things to people of color, Negroes. I don't even like saying people of color, honestly, because that's starting to become something that other nations are starting to say now. You got Asian people saying we're people of color, so I don't even like saying that. But when I say people of color, I'm talking about Negroes. I am not talking about Asians and all these other folks. All right, let me see what else y'all saying here. I'm still looking for the video. Let's see. I'm trying so hard not to let hate come into my heart, but these people make it hard. You know what? Honestly, I totally understand. Like I said, I know some good Caucasian people, right? I don't want to paint them all the same way, because I know some good ones, some very, very good people, especially those in this truth with us that have grafted in, that have accepted Yahusha, never had a problem with it. There are some that I know personally in this truth that are some good people, but when you don't have people in this truth, it can make it hard for them to be likable, at least for me, because I mean, at least when you're in the truth, you kind of understand who we are, so you understand what we've gone through, and it makes sense, the things that our people have experienced for so long. You can kind of put two and two together, and you see, I see why the people that I'm related to hate them so much. I can see why they're treated this way. I can see why they're subjugated. So it's very easy for them to kind of put the pieces together. But like I said, there are still some people that are in this truth that are still your enemies, because at the end of the day, when they say the name Yahusha and they say that Yahuwah, they still see a white man. They don't see the actual truth. And it's not because they can't see it, it's because they don't want to see it. So they're still holding on to some remnants of sour cream supremacy, which is why I say there's some I can accept and there's some I can't. But I'm going to be honest with you. Some of them, they make it very hard for you to like them, even those in this truth, because a lot of times, it's like they always getting out of line. You know what I'm saying? I had to do a post because I got upset, because it's like a lot of times they like to step into these positions they're not supposed to be in. So, for example, this is more of a channel for the Yahudim. Of course, anybody can come into this, but I'm sent to the Yahudi first, then to the Gentile. So it's always going to be a lot of stuff about our people and things of that nature. Like I said, anybody can be a part of that, but I'm always going to come to you guys first. Zakaria Hussein and Dar 99, Barakatah Yahuwah, Barakatah Yahusha Khan. All praise to Most High. I appreciate y'all. So, a lot of times, bro, I get frustrated because I be trying to, tell these individuals that y'all cannot teach us. You're not supposed to. Oh, well, where does it say in the Bible that we can't teach you guys? Where does it say you're not supposed to listen to Gentiles? You're not chosen. It's just that simple. He chose one nation and one people, and that is Jacob. So no, I do not listen to Europeans, especially when it comes to the Bible, or any nation. I don't listen to no Hamites. I don't listen to no Asians. I don't listen to nobody, because you're not called to teach. Only we are. That's what being chosen is. Chosen is to teach you the word. We're supposed to teach you Yahuwah's ways, teach you Yahusha. That's what we're supposed to do. That's what we were called to do. That's what being chosen is about. But a lot of them have this complex where they're just like, no, I can teach. I know the word well enough. I know the word better than you. I've been awake to the truth better than you. I've known who the children of Israel are longer than you. Why should I not be able to teach you? Yahuwah showed me first. They have this thing that they do all the time with that, and it's just so annoying, But you're not called to teach, and you can't teach. And if you are attempting to teach, you are stepping out of line. You are stepping out of line. And the Most High, very soon, it's going to become very clear to these individuals that they are not his chosen people. And they're not going to like it. And it's better coming from somebody like me than from Yahuwah, because that type of stuff will get you cut off. Seriously, it will get you cut off, because it's like his chosen try to tell you the truth and you don't want to hear it, because, you have to put yourself in a position of importance. Pride will get you cut off for real. Stepping out of your position, like even when you think about Paul, right? Paul was dealing with the Gentiles. He was going to the Gentiles. The Gentiles received what he was saying. The Yahudim didn't, right? They didn't want to hear what he had to say, and they were upset because there were Gentiles there in the congregation with him and stuff like that. But the Gentiles received the word of Yahuwah, and they received the gospel of Yahushua HaMashiach. And those Gentiles were happy and they were excited, but not once did they step out of place. Not once did they step out of line. You know what I'm saying? They accepted the truth. They believed in the truth, and they accepted Yahushua HaMashiach. They got baptized or immersed in Yahushua HaMashiach, and that was that. There was nothing more than that. But with these folk, it's like you can't accept salvation. You can't accept Yahuwah is allowing you into this covenant. You got to also be chosen too. It just irritates me. I don't listen to anyone teaching our book but us. They're blind, deaf, and dumb. They don't understand our scripture and they are not to teach us. Right. Right. Facts. I mean, there's no more that needs to be said other than that. The scriptures are clear. All right, y'all. We're gonna move on. I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to show you guys. This is a brief live, but I just wanted to come on here and show you guys that there's a lot going on right now. And just prepare yourselves. Don't be afraid. Don't be fearful. Trust the Most High. Oh, one more thing. One more thing I want to show you. Now, I'm going to warn you guys because this video will probably break your heart. Zubaida, hey, sis, good to see you. All praises. This video will probably break your heart. But I think that this video is also circulating because there's a narrative being pushed that we are very, very ruthless, that we are dangerous. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Just prepare yourselves. This video is hard to watch. I just find it interesting that this video is making rounds right now with everything else I've already shown you. Just brace yourself, okay? Our people got to do better, for real. This is a disabled girl in a wheelchair being beat up by two black girls. They're laughing at her. They're making fun of her. They're pushing her around. I am seeing conservatives going around sharing this video saying blacks are savages. I can't watch it. I can't show it to you guys. I'm just too bothered by this. I can't even watch the rest of it. The fact that they're pushing that little girl around and she's trying to get to her wheelchair and they're just brutalizing her. I can't even watch it. I'm sorry, y'all. I just can't. It bothers me. And this is by the hand of our own people. But like I said, that this video, Melanie Bayo, it was a woman. It's like a young girl. She's like, in school or whatever, and she's in a wheelchair and she's disabled. These black girls were beating her up, pushing her around, dragging her around like a rag doll. Yes, she was handicapped. Yes. And just laughing at her as they're beating her up. And like I said, Europeans are going around saying, this is why these people are dangerous. This is why we shouldn't trust them. This is this is that. You know what I'm saying? That narrative of us being savages and stuff like that. I'm just going to read you guys an article instead of show you the video because it's just, I can't watch it. Not even to show you guys. It's very bothersome. Oh, boy. So I'm going to just read you guys the article and we'll go from there. Because I can't. That what they did to that girl is very, very just inhumane. It's not funny. It's just, it's terrible. We got to raise our children to do better, man, especially when we're dealing with people that have ailments. Not everybody can be upright and walking, and you know what I'm saying? Some people have limited abilities, and we should be helping out our people. We should not be beating them up, you know what I'm saying, and making fun of them and filming it. It's bad enough what we're already dealing with as Negroes in this country. So why would we gang up on our own people? Can't really blame anybody for that, but the girls that were doing it. And all it does is give them the power to say, well, this is how they are. This is what they are. This is why they're dangerous. This is why they're savages. Boy. I'm trying to find the article here. Let me see if I can pull it up. And they always go to the worst things that they can find, you know, online about Black people, and then they run with that narrative. And a lot of times what they do is they slice and dice video so that they can kind of push a narrative, even if they don't have the full context. So let me read you guys this article here. Girl on wheelchair beaten up by 2 other students inside Atlanta school bathroom. And this is the video you saw. Video shows a wheelchair-bound girl getting beat up by 2 other students inside a school bathroom in the U.S. Unconfirmed reports say the assault took place at a school in Atlanta. No further details have been released at this time. And this is the video. This is the girl. And you can clearly see she has a disability, and her wheelchair is clearly right here. You can clearly see the wheelchair. And she's struggling to get to it, and they're not letting her get to it because they're just throwing her around. And they're laughing at her as they're doing it. Boy. And look at the laughing emojis. Melanated by Yahuwah says, sometimes we are our own worst enemy. I don't claim all skin folk just because they share my skin tone. Don't make them Yahshua. That's exactly the facts. Shanique says, this is about a generation of children now lost. They've been raised with this kind of wickedness as being acceptable. Absolutely. All right, y'all, that's it. I'm going to jump off of here. I just want to tell you guys to please stay prayed up. Make sure you have a relationship with our Father. Not that you just believe in him. Not that you just call on his name. But you know him. You know his son, Yahusha. You have given your life to Yahusha. You are walking in Torah. In these days, that's what we have to be doing, because Yahuwah will protect those who are his. And his people are those, not just by blood, but those who call on his name, do his will, and believe in his son. And I'm seeing so much division when it comes to the truth. There's some people who don't believe we need to keep the Torah in the lands of our captivity. Many of our people who reject Mashiach say we don't believe in Mashiach. He's created by Rome and all these other things. There's a lot of information going on, a lot of information being thrown around out here to lead you astray. For that purpose alone, to lead you astray. And I would just tell you to be careful about who you're listening to, who you're following, what tables you're eating from. Virtuous woman, you had a question about Abari. So if you go to my Discord, we have a section that kind of gives you some tools for learning the language. If you go to Discord, if you go to like the rules section, it shows you all the different little, let me show you real quick. Let me just show you. So virtuous woman, you want to go to Discord, and I'm gonna show you. It's gonna look a little different because I'm on a computer, but it's the same thing on your phone. Essentially, it just looks a little different, but essentially the same thing. So you go to Discord, and then you're gonna go to my server, and then you're gonna go all these different sections you want to check out, right? So Abari music, all right. This is where we share music from Abari artists, okay, our people, all right, all different. You got my music. You got other artists that, release music and stuff like that. Informational PDFs, Araki, Dials. He put a whole bunch of books on here you can download. Joanna gave you some links you can download of PDFs about the ouchie ouch, the lollipop. That's there. Ancient Abari findings, stuff that proves we the people, maps, historical evidence, all type of stuff like that. Some other videos about Hebrew type stuff. Now, learning Abari, this is our section. This is that teaches you like different stuff about this. So the letters, you know what I'm saying? The different names and how Yahuwah, Yahusha are definitely evidence for the name, because you can see all these different names with Yahoo in them. You know what I'm saying? We've got that. I've got Yahuwah's Palal in Abari. Once again, we break down all the letters for you, how to pronounce them. Here's more of it. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Show you some more stuff here. There's some apps you can download. I don't really suggest the apps because they base it on modern Hebrew. We don't use that over here. This is how you say the different days of the week. First day, Yom Rishon. Second day, Yom Shani. Third day, Yom Shalashi. Fourth day, Yom Rabai. Kamashi. Shashai. Shabai. Seventh day. You know what I'm saying? So we teach you how to say the days. Because in case you don't want to say the weekdays, because the weekdays are named after pagan deities, we teach you how to say the different days. You got Yahuwah's Palah right here. Abinu Bashamayim, Yakadashanka, Malakuth Boah, Rauka, Alarazkan, Bashamayim, so on and so forth. We've got Yahuwah's Palah. You can download it, you can copy it, whatever. And this is the Abari, you know what I'm saying, version of it. We also have a chart here that kind of helps you also understand the letters and what each letter means. We've got videos that help you with it, you know, from other YouTubers. Resources for learning it, studying it. We've got a lot of stuff here. So just check out the section. We've got different words that you can say in Abari. So for example, we don't say Jews, plural. We say Yahudim. We don't say Jews, singular. We say Yahudi. We don't say Satan. We say Hashatan. You know, Ab is father. Amma is mother. Son is Ban. Daughter is Bat. C is Yam. You also is Gamatha. Ahab is love. Nabi is prophet. So we got a bunch of words that you can start using right away. Ga'aratha means rebuke you. Baruch means blessed. Barak means blessed. Kaya means life. Alua means mighty one. Amunah means belief. You know, we've also got the Abari letters for each word. Shaka, bow down. Shaka Yahuwah, bow down to Yahuwah. Torah is Turah. Shabbat Shalom in the ancient tongue. You've got Kadum Lashun, which means ancient tongue. So you got a lot of stuff to get you started. Just check out the section. Just scroll it, go through it. We got a lot of stuff for you to look at. Batia says, okay, I had trouble getting on that. I will have to get a youngster to help me. You got to send me an email, and then I'll send you the link to get in. If you haven't sent me an email, you got to send me an email, sis, and then I'll give you the link to get in. The email, the link to the email is not on this video. No. It's on the scrolling bar. At the very bottom of the screen is a scrolling bar. If you send me an email directly, I'm going to send you a questionnaire. And if your answers are good, you know what I'm saying, I'll bring you in. I'll send you the link to it. You see it right there on the screen at the bottom. Email me at, you know, so on and so forth. Send me that email and I'll get you in. Yes, sir, I'm ignorant of much social media. I thought Discord was for gamers because my sons use it for that. I mean, Discord has a lot of different uses. We use it for a community. It's a community for us to communicate with each other, to share articles, to, you know what I'm saying, pray for each other. If we have prayer requests, to share end times information. It's essentially a community. It's not just for gamers. You can use Discord for anything. We just use it for the truth and just for a community. So when we're not on here, we can still contact each other and all that. It wasn't a question. I was talking about Edomites. I've read the entire Discord already. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Somebody just mentioned it, and they mentioned your name, so I thought you were trying to understand it. But yeah, so if you want to get in the Discord, send me an email, and I'll try to get you in, and we'll go from there. So anyway, family, just be safe out there. Trust the Most High. Be in relationship with Him. Continue to hold tight to the covenant. And just be prepared for when some stuff goes down. Make sure you got some preparation. If you can get a pew-pew, get one. If you can avoid traveling alone at night, avoid it, especially if you're a woman. If you are a woman, I suggest you make sure you got your son with you or some kind of male influence around you. If it's your uncle, if it's your cousin, your brother, somebody. If you don't have a husband, have some kind of male around you when you go out. All right, just be careful for real because things are about to get bad and they're about to get a lot worse. It's already started. It's just you haven't quite seen it fully unravel here in America yet. But you can already see with the pallet and the bricks and, you know, a lot of these other things, there's something coming for real. All right, so that's it. I love you guys and I will see you soon. One more thing. I forgot to tell you guys this. I will not be going live tomorrow because I'm actually going to be doing a podcast with somebody, Larry Johnson. I'm going to be doing a podcast with Larry Johnson, And we're doing a podcast tomorrow, so I won't be on here tomorrow to go live. I don't know how long the podcast is going to be, but as soon as the podcast is out and done, just be sure to, I'll be sure to let you guys know when it's finished. But yeah. All right, family. Shalom. Love you all. All praise to the Most High. Shalom.
Hey, Yexer.
All praises to the Most High, ayy. Ay, these rappers' music so dry, ay, ay. Homos hate the Bible cause they gay, gay. The Torah is forever, I obey, ay. All praises to the Most High, ay, ay. Keep the Bible close by, ay, ay. Hebrew and you know why, ay, ay. All praises to the Most High, ay, ay. The road to redemption, it is only straight and narrow. Crystals for protection, is sorcery like tarot. I know Yahuwah got me cause his eye is on the sparrow. Don't harden your heart to the truth like Pharaoh. Following the Torah is not religion, it's decision. Yahusha the Messiah never called his people Christians. Screw the Easter Bunny, Saint Nick and these traditions. Serving all these false gods like those damn Egyptians. Your heart is not repentant, then how can you be forgiven? Even until death I still hold my position. Trusting in Yahuwah if I'm broke or I'm in prison. Endure to the end, I only go off what is written. Ay, all praises to the Most High. Ay, ay. These rappers' music so dry. Ay, ay. Homos hate the Bible cause they gay, gay. The Torah is forever, I obey. Ay, all praises to the Most High. Ay, ay. Keep the Bible close by. Ay, ay.